Owen Abbas Hussain here from FightHype.com. Here again with Dean Whyte. Dean, how you doing, man? It's been a little while since I've seen you. I think last time I saw you was Devin Haney's workout.
Oh yeah.
Been a few things going on since then. Firstly, how are you, man?
I'm alright, you know. Yeah, I'm good. I'm in good spirits. It was a good turnout today, so we're at the weigh-in. Everyone's looking like they mean business. Progress, he looks a bit weak, but it looks like he means business. Obviously he's made weight now. I'm sure he'll rehydrate tomorrow and so on. And Taylor looks well. You heard him saying, hey, I can see you're tired, buddy, you're drained, man. I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? And then he was like, listen, buddy, they're gonna throw the towel in. So it's quite interesting, you know, contrast. And then you got David Price and Chisora, and Akoli and Nugano and Gabo. Yeah, so listen, this is an amazing card, man. So it's just intriguing. So I'm here taking in what's going on, and had a good turnout also.
Before I talk about this card, I do want to talk about your brother, which is why I want to talk to you. Obviously, reports have came out that WBC have had the convention and whatever else, and the thing is that if your brother is mandatory for the WBC, but it seems like he'd have to wait till February 2021 for that opportunity against the WBC champion at that time.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. What do you make of that whole situation?
Do you know what? Like I've said, I think I'll just continue to say the same thing. I'm not surprised at all. They've defended and backed and showed their support of their champion, Deontay Wilder, continuously. They haven't wavered in their continuing support and backing and not making him fight my brother Dillian Whyte. But do you know what? It's one of those ones where we're commencing towards 2020 shortly. I feel Bill just needs to probably just, you know, hopefully not be too disheartened from this fact of what's going on, and just say, you know what, I'm going to continue winning, I'm going to continue fighting, and my time will come, and just trying to adopt that attitude. It is a difficult pill to swallow, or him and the team need to discuss and think of another solution. Maybe I've heard there's a possibility the WBO will strip the winner of AJ and Ruiz, so there's an opportunity. Usyk's fighting for a vacant title. He could possibly, you know, if him and his team see fit, they'll look at that fight and may want to do that, or the winner of Chisora and Price might want to do that. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just looking at what if I had the opportunity, if I wanted to fight and it was my fight, what would I do, and what were the options? Or maybe would I just wait it out and maybe go in maybe the IBF and try and become closer to the WB? One of those kind of things, you know what I mean? But it's an interesting one. Those boys, at least they kept him at #1 mandatory position, as you saw. So that's a good look in that sense. But it's just a shambles, and I've said it many times, and I've kind of quoted him a few times already. So I think we won't go any further on that. I just feel like it's a shame, and the fans are, you know, the fights they want to see are not being made, and obviously, you know, they're kind of annoyed with that. So it's just one of them ones. But I think my bro Dillian just needs to get back to fighting, get to winning ways, see in the new year, get into 2020, and just have a strategic plan and see where he goes and what fights he wants to take in the interim until that opportunity arises, whatever way it comes, if it's the WBO, if it's the WBC, because who knows what's going to happen at the end of November if Deontay Wilder will still be the champion. With any luck, Ortiz will kind of splatter him, get an opportunity and get the job over in it, and it might be better business because Ortiz and his team might be more reluctant to do better business, you know what I mean, or quicker to say, well, you know what, we're prepared to make these fights and we want to make them now. We either want to fight Joshua, and if we don't fight Joshua, we want to fight someone who's right up there, and who else is right at the top who's not a champion. They might fight the winner of that, or they might say, you know what, this Dillian Whyte fight has been eluding us for some time, you know, he said he's offered us money, we've said he hasn't offered us, let's do this fight, you know what I mean? So potentially that is a banana skin. Let's see. We wish Ortiz all the luck, and Wilder all the luck, because he's not a bad kid as well.
What's Dillian Whyte? What place is he at the moment? Obviously, we know he's going through this whole UCAD thing. We're waiting for a statement from UCAD. I don't want to talk to you about that, but you speak to Dillian more than us guys do. So, what place is he at mentally? Is he okay? Do
you know what? He's okay now. Listen, he's back in the gym. If you look at him on his Instagram, he's training. You know, he's starting to feel himself a little bit more, and you know, I think it was trying to talk about potentially a date in December where he was going to fight it. So, you know, he's starting to feel himself. He wants to get back in shape because December's around the corner. The man to talk to is the man over there, Mr. Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? He'll have all the better answers. But, you know, from what I've heard and what he said online and how he is, he's saying, you know, listen, I'm back in the gym, I'm training potentially to fight in December. If that happens, who knows? You know what I mean? There's a bit of time to see because we're approaching the end of October now and they haven't made an announcement, so we're talking 6-7 weeks before Christmas. So, you know, it's a tight one. So we'd have to see. If they're going to make an announcement, they're going to probably want to make it sometime early next week to give it a good push, I guess, maybe. You know what I mean? But I suppose it depends where he fights also.
Let's talk about this card.
Yeah.
Prograis versus Taylor, Chisora versus Price. I want to talk about Derek Chisora first because, you know, you've had history, Whyte's had history,
Yeah.
Derek Chisora, you know him as a fighter. He's coming in and he's got a replacement opponent in David Price. What do you make of David Price replacing Jose Parker, first of all?
Do you know what? I'm going to look at it kind of two ways. That was a hell of a fight, Parker and Chisora. Yeah. I actually like the matchup stylistically. You know, War Chisora, obviously, he lost against my bro Dillian by a devastating knockout. But in that fight, he was always there. In both fights, they've earned each other's respect with the gallant efforts he's put on and Dill's put on, and Dill managed to win both of those fights. The first fight, they were saying there was some controversy, but the second fight was very conclusive. So for me, what I'm looking at is he's come back, he's splattered Spilka, and he's come back and had some great wins. I was thinking, I'd like to see how he does against Parker, who's got a granite chin, a good mover, and how he performs. And if he could either get him or stop him, that would make such a big statement. So that's what really I was looking for. As a fan of boxing, I wanted to see that fight so much, you know, and I wouldn't have missed it for the world. On the other hand, the Price fight, I'm not even going to be there tomorrow. I'm actually busy doing some stuff with my own boxer. But the Price fight is a still interesting fight because for the fact David Price has come off a great win in a long time, beating David Allen, managing to resurrect his career somewhat, you know. So for me, I think it's a good position. He's confident, and a confident David Price is a dangerous David Price because he's a big puncher with that right hand. He managed to move, use his jab and box well, stay out of the way from the big swinging shots from David Allen. I think if he can somewhat emulate that same thing, he would do very good against Derek Chisora. I hope he doesn't sit on the ropes and dwindle and take unnecessary idle shots which might drain his energy, because obviously he's had issues with, you know, adrenaline and confidence and nerves factor and burnout quite a lot in fights. But you can see that he's in a more confident place, and he seems raring, and he believes he can truly do it, and I'm rooting for him, you know.
Let me ask you about the main event. Prograis versus Taylor, unification clash, World Boxing Super Series final, number 1 versus number 2.
Hell of a fight.
Talk to me about that, man.
Hell of a fight. Listen, those two, you're talking about the best of the best of the best right now, fighting each other. Two undefeated guys who's just doing it big. You got Prograis, he's an animal, he's a big puncher at the weight, you know what I mean? He's got quite a few knockouts. I believe, 24 fights, 20 knockouts or something like that, I think I heard. He's a beast, you know what I mean? He looked like he was struggling a little bit with the weight. Obviously, he had to take his old cats off there and get all naked. You know what I'm saying? Little madman. But really and truly, he should have made it a bit more comfortable. He looked like he was struggling somewhat to me. I saw him over there, he weren't talking, he was very lacklustered, he was sitting down, very, very tired. So obviously, clearly he's struggling to make the weight. But I think later on, once he rehydrates, he'll be okay. And he's done it many times before, and tomorrow he'll be very, very strong. Taylor, I saw him yesterday talking to him. He seemed a bit tired yesterday and whatever, and he seemed like he was maybe somewhat struggling. Today he looks a lot better because it's earlier, and like he mentioned that, listen, buddy, you look like you're really struggling, I'm going to make you pay. So it is a very interesting fight. Both of them are very confident, and so they should be. Taylor's been in there and snuffed in a few good fighters. Did he fight Postal?
Yeah,
and he won. He snuffed in O'Hara Davis. to O'Hara Davis. That was a good win because at the time I didn't know much about Taylor at the time, and I believed O'Hara Davis would win it, you know, because of the power. He'd went in there and done a good job, and he actually got smoked. And I like O'Hara Davis, and he's on the way back. So that was a shocking point for me in his comeback. And ever since then, I've said, you know, I'm a big fan of Taylor's. He's doing really well. He went and beat the Russian the other day, and now he's in the final. He's got it all to win. You know what I mean? So good luck to him tomorrow also. And I think it is a hard call to a fight to call. What's his name? Taylor is very tall, as you saw. You see, he's towering over. So, but he hasn't fought someone with the kind of punching capability and power that Prograis possesses.
I don't think Prograis has as well. When I spoke to Prograis, he was armor face. So Josh Taylor has a face nobody to the likes of me, and I am a face nobody to the likes of Josh.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's a very, very interesting fight. And listen, I think the fans is in for a great night tomorrow night.
Cool. You right? Thank you very much.
Thanks very much as always, man.
Time.
Yes, yeah.
No doubt, we'll catch you
again.
Thank you very much, man.
Yes.
Appreciate that.